I reach Le Jardin 3 minutes early, exactly as I always do. The restaurant sits nestled between the boutiques of Union Square, its sidewalk tables crowded with the Sunday brunch regulars. My heels tap crisply against the pavement as I adjust my charcoal blazer and step inside. The hostess spots me immediately. "Miss Moore, your father's already seated." Of course he is. Preston Moore never waits for anyone, but he'll scroll through his phone for an entire meal. I weave between tables until I see him tucked into the corner booth. He's hunched over his screen, thumb flicking downward, not even glancing up when I sit across from him. Just a grunt. "Morning, Dad." Another grunt. A burst of air kisses pulls my attention away. My mother, Meredith Moore, stands 2 tables over, greeting a group of society friends. Her laugh is bright, polished, and loud enough for half the room to hear. When she finally arrives at our booth, she doesn't sit, she arranges herself, smoothing her cream silk blouse before lowering onto the edge of the banquette. "Alana." She presents her cheek. I kiss it dutifully. Her perfume, something French, expensive, and suffocating, fills the air. "Mother." The waiter appears. "Good morning, Mr. Moore, Mrs. Moore." "The usual," Preston says without bothering to look up. "And for you, miss?" The emphasis stings. I've eaten here twice a month for 3 years, but I'm still miss, still the afterthought. Coffee, black, and the vegetable frittata. Meredith scrunches her nose. "No mimosa, darling?" "It's Sunday. I have work this afternoon." "On a Sunday?" She exhales like I've revealed a shameful secret. The roar of an engine outside signals Spencer's arrival before he even enters. Through the window, I watch my older brother unfold himself from his silver Porsche, tossing the keys to the valet with the careless confidence of someone who has never been denied anything. He strides in 10 minutes late, beaming. Sorry. Got tied up in Atlantic City. Insane weekend, you guys. I'm talking 5 grand up on blackjack alone." Preston finally glances up. "Good for you, son." Spencer drops into the booth beside me, vibrating with excitement. The suite was comped. "Dad, you should have seen it. 2 bedrooms, marble everywhere." I sip my water and stay quiet. The waiter returns with drinks, and Spencer orders a Bloody Mary without bothering to check the menu. "So," Meredith says, folding her hands, "your father and I have been discussing the Tahoe cabin." My shoulders tense. "The renovation plans are finalized," she continues. 1.2 million, all in. New kitchen, updated master suite, and we're finally removing that dusty old library, turning it into a proper media room. Her words hit like ice water. "The library?" "Oh, Elena, don't be dramatic," she says, waving a manicured hand. "Those books are ancient. Nobody reads them." I read them. Grandma Claire left that library to me. It's in her will. The cabin is co-owned, remember? Preston says, finally setting down his phone. His tone is flat, uninterested. "Let's not get hung up on nostalgia. We're adding value." I'm not getting hung up. I'm citing a legal fact. Meredith's smile tightens, her voice rising just enough for neighboring tables to hear. "She wants the audience?" "Alana, dear, you should be grateful we even invite you to these brunches. Pity goes a long way in this family." Conversations around us soften. People turn away, pretending not to listen. Spencer smirks, already engrossed in his phone, again some casino app, from the look of it. My cheeks burn, but my voice stays steady. "Thank you for your honesty, Mother." Her eyes flicker, surprised I'm not reacting more. Good. Let her guess. The waiter drops off our plates, and silence settles over the table. I cut my frittata into neat squares, chewing slowly while my mind runs. It drifts back to 2 years ago, the awards ceremony. I'd won a 30 under 30 recognition in data science. The banquet hall was filled with investors and tech leaders, people who understood what I'd built. A senior colleague approached our table, where my parents sat looking stiff and out of place among engineers. "Mrs. Moore, you must be so proud. Alana's work in predictive algorithms is groundbreaking." Meredith had smiled, placing her hand over her heart. "We're just thrilled she found a hobby that suits her. Poor thing always struggled socially, so this data work is perfect for her." The colleague's smile faltered. I excused myself and hid in the bathroom for 15 minutes. Poor thing. The phrase has trailed me my whole life. Back at the brunch table, Spencer launches into a painfully detailed explanation of a poker hand. Preston nods occasionally. Meredith checks her lipstick. I'm their IT girl. The one who resets Preston's email every month. The one who built the entire Moore family office dashboard investments. Property records, tax documents, all integrated and automated. 8 years of free labor, thinking competence could buy respect. I was wrong. When the meal ends, Preston signs the check without looking at the total. We stand. Meredith pauses to kiss her friends goodbye. Spencer jogs ahead to take better photos of his Porsche. I walk to my car alone, fog rolling in from the bay. My hands tremble as I unlock the door. For 8 years, I believed that if I worked harder, built smarter systems, maybe they'd finally see my value. But Meredith's words cut that fantasy cleanly in half. Pity. They invite me out of pity. I sit in the driver's seat without starting the engine. My pity for them is the only thing that's protected them. My system's built for free shield Preston from his own incompetence. Spencer's gambling would have gutted him if I hadn't flagged his transactions months ago. Fog slides across the windshield. I have master administrator access to everything. Every bank account, every investment, every login. Preston signed the authorization form 5 years ago without reading a word. He just wanted faster portfolio updates. No more free expertise. I start the engine and drive home through the gray afternoon. By tonight, I'll fulfill my fiduciary responsibility, secure the assets, then resign. It's Sunday. I have time. They think I'm the poor thing who needs their pity. They have no idea what's coming. Sunday night, I open my laptop in my Russian Hill apartment. The city lights shimmer beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows, but I'm not looking at the view. My grandmother's mahogany desk, the one piece of furniture I took from her estate, holds my MacBook and 3 external monitors. Routine maintenance. That's all tonight was meant to be. I pull up the Preston family office dashboard, the system I built from nothing. Investment portfolios, property records, trust accounts, credit card statements. Everything integrated. Everything monitored. Dad calls it Alana's magic spreadsheet whenever he bothers to reference it at all. The transaction history loads. I skim for the usual patterns when a cluster of withdrawals grabs my attention. Spencer's checking account. $50,000 in March. $42,000 in April, $63,000 in May. My pulse spikes. I filter by merchant category. Atlantic City. Every single charge. I open a second screen and map the transactions across time. A pattern spreads like a rash, revealing itself beneath skin. 18 months of expanding theft. Not casual gambling. A systematic drain. I total the figures. $350,000. My fingers freeze above the keyboard. This isn't recklessness. It's addiction. And no one has noticed because I'm the only person who actually reads these reports. I switch to the Tahoe property records. Meredith said the renovation permits were already submitted. There they are. Filed 2 weeks ago. Permit applicant, Meredith Moore. Project description, interior remodel, including removal of non-load-bearing walls in the northeast section. The northeast section? The library. I click through the contractor invoices. $180,000 already paid. The deposit cleared last Wednesday from the family trust account. They didn't just plan it over brunch. They're already destroying it. My screen flickers. A red alert pops up in the corner. High priority security warning. Concurrent user detected. I check the timestamp. 9:47 p.m. Someone else is logged in right now. I pull up the active sessions. Spencer's username. He's inside the wire transfer module. $50,000. Pay. Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa. The transfer sits in the approval queue, waiting for the nightly batch processing at 10 p.m. 13 minutes from now. My chest tightens. If that transfer goes through, it's one more theft I've silently enabled by building a system so smooth he doesn't need to think. I have a choice. Let it pass. Or stop it. Pity goes a long way in this family. My fingers begin to move. I initiate the emergency backup protocol, the one I installed 3 years ago when Dad asked for extra security. He signed the authorization without reading a word. Terabytes of data begin copying to encrypted external drives. Every transaction, every email, every signed form. 8 years of evidence. 9:52 p.m. Preston signed the master administrator agreement 5 years ago. I remember giving him the overview while he scribbled his signature, half listening, distracted by a call. Yeah. Whatever you need. Just make it work. What I need. He granted me unilateral authority to freeze accounts in cases of suspected fraud or misuse. Spencer's $50,000 wire transfer is misuse. 9:58 p.m., I open the dual authentication module. Every account, every card, every investment platform. I enable two-factor authentication and replace the master passwords with randomly generated 60-character strings. Spencer's transfer fails first. Transaction declined. Authentication required. I disable overdraft protection from all checking accounts. If he's overdrawn already, he'll learn tomorrow morning. The 11 family credit cards take longer. I shut them down one by one. Amex Platinum. Visa's signature. Meredith's Barney's card, the one she uses for her wardrobe. All 11 flip red. Status inactive. The investment accounts are last. I place a 72-hour hold on all movement. No trades, no withdrawals, no transfers. 10:04 p.m., my hands tremble not from fear, but from absolute clarity. This isn't revenge. It's containment and consequence. I have a fiduciary responsibility to protect these assets. My grandmother's trust named me co-trustee with Dad, another document he signed without reading. I'm not stealing. I'm stopping the bleed. I'm protecting family assets from the family. The emotional distance feels surreal, like stepping out of cold water onto warm sand. For the first time in years, I'm not begging for approval. I'm doing my job. I open a new tab and log into secure email. Vanessa Hargrove, attorney at law. We met at a Women in Tech conference 2 years ago. She'd handed me her card and said, if you ever need someone who understands both family law and financial litigation, call me. I write the message carefully. Subject, urgent, trust violation and property dispute, Vanessa. I need your assistance. Attached is documentation indicating systematic trust fund theft and unauthorized property modifications. I have exercised my emergency powers as co-trustee to freeze accounts pending investigation. I require a cease and desist for contractors, county permitting notifications, and litigation prep. Are you available tomorrow? I attach everything: financial analyses, contractor invoices, permit filings. Grandmother's will with the library clause. Highlighted. Send. 10:31 p.m., my phone lies dark on the desk. By morning, it will erupt voicemails, texts, frantic calls. But for tonight, it's silent. I draft my resignation to Preston Moore, head of Preston Capital. CC, Spencer Moore, Meredith Moore. Subject, resignation, system administrator position effective immediately. I resign as legal system administrator for the Preston family office. Security protocols have been updated per the emergency provisions in our agreement dated March 2020. All administrative access has been restricted pending trust compliance review. Direct all inquiries regarding the Tahoe property to my legal counsel, Vanessa Hargrove. Alana Moore, my cursor pauses over send. They think I'm the poor thing, the grateful daughter, the one who should accept whatever scraps of regard they offer. But they build their entire comfort on my invisible labor. Preston's tech incompetence covered by my systems. Spencer's addiction funded by accounts I maintained. Meredith's spotless social image protected by my silence. Send. 11:47 p.m. I power off my phone. Tomorrow, the chaos begins. Preston's Amex will decline at the airport lounge. Spencer's casino markers will be called in. Meredith's monthly transfer to her decorator will bounce. They'll finally understand that the IT girl wasn't the issue. She was the solution they took for granted. And when solutions disappear, the problems become very obvious. The first decline hits at 9 a.m. Preston's American Express. Platinum, his constant companion for 23 years, gets rejected SFO's airport lounge. I'm not there, but I can imagine the expression. Confusion first, then irritation, then that deep shade of red he gets when confronting incompetence. Except this time, it's his. 15 minutes later, Spencer's casino markers are called all at once. 3 different Atlantic City resorts demanding immediate repayment. The timing is by design. His credit lines were tied to the family accounts, and those accounts no longer recognize his access codes. At 9:30, Meredith's standing wire to her decorator bounces. She's been paying Claudette $5,000 a month for 18 months, most of it for a Tahoe remodel that now is legally frozen. I wonder whether Claudette will be the one to tell her, or if the bank will send the polite but curt insufficient funds notice. By 10, my phone holds 17 voicemails, all from Spencer. I don't listen. I sit in my Russian Hill apartment with my second cup of coffee, watching fog peel away from the bay, and I feel nothing. No guilt, no triumph. Just a cool, exact sense of completion, like closing a perfectly reconciled spreadsheet. At 10:15, Preston's assistant calls. Voicemail again? The group text explodes at 10:22. I keep notifications silenced, but I check out of curiosity. Spencer, Alana, what the hell did you do? Preston, call me immediately. Meredith, this is unacceptable. How dare you embarrass us like this? Spencer, call me now. Preston, we are contacting attorneys. I put the phone down and finish my coffee. Wednesday morning arrives with low clouds and the faint scent of rain. Vanessa's office occupies the 42nd floor of a downtown tower glass. Steel, silence, and thick carpet that swallows footsteps. I arrive 10 minutes early, as usual, and wait in the conference room she reserved. Preston walks in at exactly 9, flanked by 2 men in suits. I recognize their type immediately. Asterisk. Corporate attorneys, the kind who charge $800 an hour and phrase every sentence like it might later be read in court. He doesn't greet me. He simply lowers himself into the chair across from mine and laces his fingers together. Restore access to the accounts. Immediately. Vanessa doesn't lift her gaze from her papers. Good morning, Mr. Moore. Thank you for coming. I'm not interested in small talk. I'm here because my daughter has committed theft and sabotage, and I expect it corrected before I'm forced to initiate legal action. I meet his stare. I haven't stolen anything. I've protected assets from ongoing theft. That's ridiculous, is it? Vanessa nudges a folder across the table. We'd like to address Spencer's gambling activity, specifically $350,000 in unauthorized withdrawals over the last 18 months. One of Preston's lawyers grabs the folder. His colleague leans in to scan the pages. I watch the subtle change in their expressions as they absorb the transaction history, casino records, and pattern analysis. I spent 8 years building systems to detect this exact behavior. Preston's jaw tightens. Spencer's personal spending is none of your concern. It is when it's siphoned from family accounts, Vanessa replies. And it absolutely becomes Alana's concern given her authority as master administrator responsible for asset protection. The second attorney clears his throat. May I see the authorization document? Vanessa hands it over. 3 pages, Preston's signature large and sloppy at the bottom. I remember the day he signed it 5 years ago, barely skimming the text, rushing to make a tea time. The attorney reads every line. His face drains of color. Mr. Moore, this grants unilateral emergency powers to the administrator for asset protection purposes, end quote. What is that supposed to mean? Preston's voice has lost its bite. It means she had every legal right to do exactly what she did. Silence expands. A cable car bell rings faintly outside. Rain begins tapping the glass windows. This is still theft, Preston insists, though the confidence is gone. I lean forward. I'm proposing an audit, full forensic accounting for the past 2 years. Every withdrawal, wire, and check. If I acted improperly, I'll face consequences. But Spencer undergoes the same review. Preston stands abruptly. Absolutely not. Then we'll see you in court, Vanessa says with polite calm. I'm sure discovery will be illuminating. His attorneys exchange looks. The first rests a hand on Preston's arm. May we speak with our client? They step into the hallway. Through the glass partition, I watch them huddle, voices low and urgent. Preston's expression shifts from rage to bewilderment to something that might be fear. After 8 minutes, they return. We need time to review the documentation, the first attorney says, and discuss options with our client. Of course, Vanessa replies. We're available whenever you're ready. Preston leaves without a word. His attorneys follow, carrying copies of everything. The door clicks shut like a vault ceiling. I let out a slow breath. You handled that well, Vanessa says. Staying calm. I've had practice. They'll come back new demands, new strategy. But you saw their faces when they hit that emergency clause? I did. I watched the instant they realized Preston signed away control without reading what he signed. The carelessness that shaped his parenting finally caught him. My phone buzzes. A text from Rachel, my old coworker in data science. Heard you might need a character witness. I'm here if you need me. Another buzz. David, the bank manager I've worked with for 6 years. Your signatory authority is documented and valid. Tell me if you need formal confirmation. And another. Marcus from IT security. I can verify all your protective protocols. They're textbook. I didn't ask anyone. Word must have spread in the professional network I've built over a decade, the same one my family mocks as my data hobby. Thursday night finds me at my kitchen counter eating pad thai, scrolling through emails when my phone lights with Vanessa's name. He hired Mitchell Crawford, she says immediately. I just got the notice. I set down my chopsticks. Crawford, the firm that handled the Westfield estate litigation. Top tier. He's not playing around, Alana. He's preparing to sue. I should be scared. Instead, I feel something sharp and electric blooming inside me. Good, I say. He's stepping right where I need him. Vanessa laughs quietly. You really are something. I learned from the best. He taught me to always have a plan. And yours? Discovery. He wants to sue? Perfect. That means subpoenas. Full accounting. Every transaction, every document, every secret buried in the Preston family office. He's so focused on controlling me, he can't see the snare. This might get ugly. It's already ugly. We're just making it official. After we hang up, I pour wine and stand at the window. City lights shimmer through fog. Somewhere, Preston is probably with Crawford crafting his narrative, casting me as the ungrateful daughter who betrayed her family. Let him. He doesn't know how much documentation I have. 8 years of meticulous records, every conversation logged, every signature archived. I was building a fortress long before I knew I'd need it. My phone buzzes again. Spencer, I'm checking into rehab. It's bad. I need to talk to you. I stare at the text. His first message that isn't hostile. I don't answer. Not yet. Let him wait with that need. Outside, fog rolls in heavy and gray, swallowing the skyline. The email from Vanessa arrives Tuesday morning, 2 weeks after our meeting with Preston's lawyers. Subject line, Crawford filed. I'm in my apartment, coffee cooling beside my laptop. I open the attachment. Crawford's name sits above partition action-dense legal jargon boiled down to one truth. Preston wants the Tahoe cabin sold, accuses me of mismanaging it, and demands the majority share. My phone buzzes. Vanessa's message. Call me. I dial. She picks up instantly. He's casting you as the problem, she says. Waste and mismanagement, failure to maintain the property, classic tactics when someone wants to force a sale. I lean back, watching fog drift across the window. He opened the door. Exactly. Discovery cuts both ways. How fast can you file a counter motion? 48 hours. I'll attach your grandmother's will and request full discovery for proper valuation. Every family office document becomes fair game. Do it. After we hang up, I open the news alert Vanessa forwarded. A Tahoe paper has picked up the story. Tech Dynasty property battle screams the headline beside a photo of the cabin. The article cites sources close to the family, claiming the conflict stems from a stubborn daughter unwilling to compromise. Meredith's fingerprints. My mother excels at whisper campaigns. By noon, she'll phone every woman in her country club circle, spinning the tale. Poor Preston and Meredith dealing with their impossible daughter. All they wanted was to improve the family property. I close the laptop and finish my coffee. Let them whisper. Words won't save them from what's coming. Thursday afternoon, an unknown number calls. I nearly ignore it but answer on instinct. Alana? The voice is rough, shaky. Spencer, where are you calling from? Payphone at the rehab center. They monitor phones. He pauses. I've been here 2 weeks. Clearer now. Thinking straighter. I wait. I'll testify, he blurts. I'll tell you everything. About the offshore accounts in Bermuda, the consulting firm that doesn't exist, the falsified tax filings. I've watched Dad do it for years. I don't want to be like them anymore, Alana. I can't. My pulse jumps, but I keep my voice even. Why the sudden conscience? Because I finally understand what you did. You didn't destroy us. You stopped us from destroying ourselves. His voice cracks. Just protect me from him. Dad doesn't forgive disloyalty. Send Vanessa everything you remember. Names, account numbers, whatever you can recall. I will, I promise. The line clicks dead. I sit holding the phone, absorbing the shift. Spencer's cooperation changes everything. Preston assumed loyalty would override self-preservation. He forgot respect as the foundation. That night, my voicemail fills with messages. I ignore them until after dinner, pouring wine before pressing play. Meredith's voice oozes out-sweetened venom. Your grandmother would be ashamed, Alana. Truly ashamed. You're destroying our legacy over a room of dusty books. Is this worth it? What happened to the daughter I raised? I saved the recording date and timestamp preserved. Evidence of potential harassment. The next message is similar. Then another. 6 total, each escalating from guilt to fury to outright panic. I don't respond. Silence is strategy. Vanessa files the countermotion Friday morning. I read it during lunch. It's surgical. She welcomes the partition action, demands full discovery, and includes grandmother Claire's will explicitly assigning the library to me. The subpoenas cover 15 years of family office records. The trap isn't subtle. Any liar would spot it. But Preston committed when he filed, and backing out now looks worse. By Monday, cracks form. Preston leaves 3 voicemails, each tighter than the last. The first asks for reason. The second threatens consequences. The third is nothing but breathing and a muttered curse. Meredith stops calling and starts rallying extended family. My phone lights up with messages from cousins I haven't spoken to in years asking what's going on and why I can't just resolve things. I ignore all of them. On Wednesday, Vanessa sends a photo. County inspectors have posted a stop work order on the Tahoe cabin. The permit violations finally caught up. Daily fines keep stacking. The contractors, still unpaid after months, have filed preliminary lien notices. The renovation Meredith insisted on is now bleeding money while sitting untouched. Spencer texts Vanessa directly. I want out of this family. She forwards it to me with one word, leverage. I am reviewing the forensic accountant's preliminary report when my phone rings. Vanessa, her voice tight with controlled through. Crawford knows. He's figured out what discovery will uncover. And he's panicking. Called me an hour ago. Fishing for settlement terms. Very casual. Very we can resolve this without lengthy litigation. I smirk at my reflection in the dark window. What did you tell him? That my client is perfectly comfortable with discovery. That we welcome transparency and have nothing to hide. How'd he react? 10 full seconds of silence. Then he said he'd be in touch. After we hang up, I open the evidence files. Spencer's information, combined with 8 years of my records, forms a devastating picture. Tax evasion totaling $2.3 million. CC violations. Multiple illicit transactions. A deliberate, systematic pattern of fraud Crawford is legally obligated to report if revealed through discovery. Preston built his legacy on competence he never possessed and rules he never followed. I was the scaffolding keeping it upright, and I stepped away. Now the entire structure is collapsing. Friday morning, Vanessa calls before I finish my coffee. Crawford wants a meeting. Monday, neutral site. He specifically asked that Preston come without Meredith. He's ready to settle. He's terrified. This isn't about the cabin anymore. And he knows it. I look around my apartment at the life I built far from them. Set it up. I'll be there, Alana. Vanessa's voice softens. You've got him. Whatever happens Monday, remember that. I end the call and stand at my window watching San Francisco wake. Somewhere across the city, Preston is realizing the magnitude of his mistake. He thought a lawsuit and social pressure would force my submission. Instead, he delivered the key to everything. Monday can't come soon enough. On Monday morning, Vanessa's conference room feels like a stage. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame the Bay Bridge, morning light glinting off the polished walnut table. I sit with my spine straight, hands folded, watching Preston and Mitchell Crawford walk in. Preston won't meet my eyes. 6 weeks have aged him, gray streaks at his temples, deeper lines around his mouth. Crawford's suit is immaculately pressed, his briefcase severe. "Let's get this settled," Preston says, dropping into a chair. There's an edge I've never heard before. Desperation. 500,000. Cash. Today. I remain still. Vanessa shifts beside me, drawing her tablet from her bag. "That's remarkably generous," she says flatly, "especially considering your claim last week that your family is cash poor." Crawford clears his throat. "My client is offering a significant settlement to resolve this quietly and efficiently." Efficiently, I echo, because discovery begins next Friday. Preston's jaw tightens. "Don't be dramatic, Alana. This is business." My phone buzzes. A text from Meredith to the extended family group chat forwarded by my cousin Rachel. "Alana's greed is tearing this family apart. She's demanding millions over a property she barely visits. Please reach out and make her understand." I turn the phone toward Vanessa. She scans it and makes a note. "Mr. Moore," she says, "are you aware your wife is currently conducting a coordinated harassment campaign against my client?" Meredith is upset, Preston replies. "Can you blame her? Her own daughter is extorting the family." The word hits like a slap. Extortion. He's testing the narrative, trying it on for tone. My phone rings. Aunt Carolyn. Decline. 30 seconds later, Uncle Richard. Decline. Then Cousin Michael. "They'll keep calling," Preston says. "Everyone sees what you're doing." "Everyone sees what you told them I'm doing," I reply. "There's a difference." Crawford leans forward. "Miss Moore, let's discuss your actual legal position. Your emergency powers authorization could be interpreted as a breach of fiduciary duty, freezing accounts without proper cause, denying access to legitimate funds. These actions expose you to liability." "Proper cause," Vanessa repeats, like stopping $350,000 in unauthorized gambling withdrawals. "We dispute that characterization," Crawford says smoothly. Spencer Moore had implied authorization to use trust funds for personal needs. Implied, Vanessa muses. Interesting choice of word. Preston shifts uncomfortably. "Look, Alana, I know you're angry about the brunch comment. Your mother was out of line. But this has gone too far. So $500,000 will restore your system access. You sign a release, and we move on. Or, I ask, or we proceed with an ethics complaint to the California bar," Crawford says. "We will argue you abused administrative privileges for personal gain, that you orchestrated this crisis for leverage." Vanessa smiles, sharp as a blade. "Please file it. I would love to see that." Preston leans back, trying to reclaim authority. "You have 48 hours. After that, the offer drops to $250,000. The ultimatum hangs thick in the air." My phone rings again, Spencer this time. I watch it vibrate until it stops. "We have a counter-presentation," Vanessa says. She connects her laptop to the large screen. "If you'll give us a few minutes." Crawford exchanges a look with Preston. "This is irregular." "Humor us," I say. Vanessa clicks to the first slide. Spencer's name at the top, followed by a timeline. Red bars chart 18 months of withdrawals, each tied to Atlantic City casinos. Total, $350,000. Slide 1, Vanessa narrates. Spencer Moore's systematic theft from the Preston Family Trust. Preston's face is stone, but his hand clamps the armrest. Click. Slide 2 covers the monitor bank statements, highlighted notes, timestamps. Preston's signature on quarterly reports I prepared, every one flagging irregular withdrawals needing review. Slide 2. Preston Moore's documented awareness of the theft. 6 months at minimum, likely longer. Crawford starts to object. "Please reserve comments until the end," Vanessa says pleasantly. Click. Slide 3 fills the screen. Offshore accounts, Bermuda, falsified tax filings. Consulting payments with no actual consulting. The total at the bottom is still staggering. $2.3 million in undisclosed foreign assets. Slide 3. Tax evasion. Evidence of deliberate concealment, falsified deductions, unreported income. The IRS would be extremely interested. Preston's complexion has gone gray newspaper gray. Crawford whispers urgently to him, but Preston doesn't hear. He's staring at the screen. Click. Slide 4 lists ESSEC violations, insider trades, concealed conflicts of interest, misleading investor reports, each followed by potential prison sentences. Slide 4. Securities fraud, multiple violations, estimated 5 to 7 years federal prison time. This is extortion, Crawford says, though the confidence is gone. This is evidence, Vanessa replies. And that brings us to slide 5. The final slide shows email chains, Meredith's messages to contractors, all dated before demolition at Tahoe. Just get it done. I'll handle Preston. We don't need permits for interior work. Start demo on the library this week. Below it, an audio file. Vanessa clicks. Preston's voice fills the room, tinny but unmistakable. I don't care how you do it. Just handle it. The timestamp is 3 years old. A conversation authorizing funds pulled from Spencer's sub-account to cover gambling debt. Preston knew. Preston approved. Preston concealed. The silence in the room is absolute. So Vanessa says calmly, closing her laptop, let's reconsider your settlement offer. $500,000 and a 48-hour deadline. Does that still feel appropriate? Crawford scribbles frantically, his pen clawing the paper. Preston finally looks at me. His eyes are empty. How long have you been planning this? Since the moment Mother called me a pity case, I say. He shuts his eyes. When he opens them, something in him has fractured. Draft the paperwork. I'm sorry, Vanessa asks, though she heard him clearly. $2 million. Full payout of the Tahoe share. Mutual non-disclosure. Release of all claims against Alana, and you remove her admin access after she restores ours. His voice is mechanical. No admission of wrongdoing. Standard settlement language. Crawford touches his arm. Preston. We should discuss no. Preston rises. We're done. Draft it today. I want this finished. He leaves without another glance. Crawford packs his briefcase, expression blank. Documents will be sent by the end of the day, he says. When the door closes, I release a breath I didn't realize I was holding. The wire transfer will hit before you leave the building, Vanessa says. I'll make sure of it. My phone buzzes. Spencer texting from rehab. Thank you for saving me. Another buzz. Meredith's voicemail notification. I play the voicemail on speaker. This isn't over, Alana. You think you've won, but you've lost your family. I hope it was worth it. I delete it without blinking. Then I block her number. Was it? Vanessa asks quietly. Worth it? I look out at the bay, the water glittering like the day's already decided how it will end. Yes, I say. It absolutely was. 6 months after the settlement, I stand in my penthouse kitchen, watching fog peel away from the San Francisco Bay. The view sweeps nearly 270 degrees, Golden Gate on one side, Bay Bridge on the other. No neighbors. No shared walls. Just glass, sky, and water dot the private elevator chimes. My guests are arriving. I smooth my emerald cashmere sweater and walk into the living room. No family portraits cluttering shelves. Instead, my 30 under 30 award sits on a custom pedestal, catching the afternoon sun. Art from local galleries fills the walls. My achievements. My choices. My home. The library lines the entire west wall. Floor-to-ceiling walnut shelves hold Grandma Claire's book collection, moved from Tahoe and arranged exactly the way she kept them, poetry on the left, classics in the middle, mysteries to the right. I trail my fingers across the spines as I pass Dot. Vanessa steps off the elevator first, a bottle of wine in hand. "This place still stills my breath," she says. "Every single time." "I know," I reply. The others filter in: Marcus from my consulting firm, Elena from my Stanford days, David and his husband James, 3 women from my support group. 8 people who showed up when it mattered. Dot. We gather around my dining table as the afternoon sun slants through the windows. Same hour as those awful family brunches. Different lifetime. Elena passes the salad bowl. "My sister asked me to plan Thanksgiving again," she sighs. 3rd year straight. No offer to help, just expectation. Marcus laughs. "Did you say yes?" "I said I had plans. Do you?" Vanessa asks. "I do now. I'm going to Hawaii alone." Cheers erupt. David leans back. "My mother called yesterday, asked if I could quickly review her tax documents. And?" I ask. I told her my rate is $300 an hour. Family included. What did she say? She hung up, then texted that I've changed. "You have," James says softly, taking his husband's hand. "For the better." I raise my glass. "To boundaries." "To boundaries," they echo. Someone mentions the stress of holiday season forced family gatherings, the dread, the guilt. I set down my fork. "I see my family every day," I say. They all look at me. "You're sitting at my table." The words settle in a warm, quiet way. Elena's eyes shimmer with tears she doesn't bother hiding. Later, as we clear the table, Vanessa pulls me aside. "Preston Capital sent a business inquiry last week." "I know," I say. "I deleted it. You didn't respond?" "Not for a second." I slide plates into the dishwasher. "They can hire someone else. I'm not their safety net anymore." My phone buzzes. A new client inquiry, a tech startup needing data infrastructure work. $500 an hour. 10-hour minimum. I reply with my standard contract. Clear. Professional. My worth isn't up for negotiation anymore. That evening, after everyone leaves, I pour a glass of wine and step onto the balcony. City lights twinkle below. The Bay Bridge glows against the deepening sky. My therapy journal waits on the table. I flip back through entries from 6 months ago. Maybe I overreacted. The arc is unmistakable self-doubt, slowly sharpening into certainty. Last week's entry. I saved myself. Spencer visits tomorrow. 6 months sober. Attending meetings. Rebuilding. He called last week to ask if we could talk over coffee. His voice was different, steady, present. "I need to apologize properly," he'd said. "Not the performance I gave at the settlement. A real apology." "Okay," I told him. "I'm listening." We're building something new, distant, but honest. He's no longer the golden child. I'm no longer the scapegoat. We're just 2 people trying to do better. Preston and Meredith are somewhere in Palo Alto. I wouldn't know. No contact. Numbers blocked. Emails filtered to trash. Their grip on my life gone. My consulting business now has 12 regular clients. I turned down 3 projects last month because they didn't align with my values. That power, that choice, still feels new. I mentor a young woman named Sarah who reached out after hearing me speak at the Women in Tech conference. Her family treats her like a 24/7 support desk while belittling her career. The pattern felt painfully familiar. "Charge them," I told her. "Or walk away. Your expertise has value. Price it accordingly." Last week she texted. I walked away. "Thank you." I opened my journal to a clean page and write, "Mother said pity was why they included me." She was right about one thing: pity was involved. My pity kept me trapped. Her cruelty was the key that freed me. They thought my value lived in their approval, but it lived in my competence. Some might call what I did cold. I call it necessary. I built their financial world, and when I finally changed the combination, I locked them out and freed myself. I closed the journal. My phone buzzes again. 2 new client inquiries. I walk into my home office, leaving the past on the balcony, dissolving into the San Francisco night where it belongs.